why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is. They should cover the object. Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump. His demagoguery, his danger to our country and the world.
Ain't nothing changed, nothing new here to see. This ain't nothing but some political maneuvering.
America.
Welcome to the eulogy, eat it up. It's called political buffoonery.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to This Week in DUMBmocracy, where we showcase some of the dumbest newsmakers of the week. By now, I'm sure that you've all heard about the second assassination attempt of President Donald Trump in Florida. We're going to go more in-depth into the facts and circumstances, the timetables, and all that when Ross Galloway and I go back behind enemy lines live Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope you guys join us for that. But for now, I want to re-engage with you all about the discussion we had a few weeks ago when we were talking about the first assassination attempt. I can't believe I'm even saying this at this point in 2024. And I want to talk about, again, the rise in violent and dangerous political discourse and rhetoric in this 2024 election cycle. Now, I'm not going to rehash all of the quotes that we highlighted in the previous video, which, by the way, will be in the upper right-hand corner of the screen right about now. There it is right there. Check it out when you can. I want to talk about, in the aftermath of this second attempt, how one political enemy of former President Trump, you see her on the screen right now, Hillary Clinton, has, within 48 hours of this assassination attempt, this latest one, returned to this idea of dangerous and violent rhetoric to the point where I'm calling it vile. I'm going to explain what I mean, but first, I want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss that other show. And if you like what you're seeing here in this or any other video on the channel, I'm going to ask you guys to, in a non-violent way, smash the thumbs up button wherever you're listening, like, comment, share the show with your friends, all that really, really good stuff, because all that's going to help the channel by feeding the YouTube algorithm.
Yes, it must feed.
As always, gang, thank you so much for all that you do to help grow the channel, whether you're watching on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, on the Twitters, wherever you are. I'm glad you're here with us, and I hope this video earns your subscription as we talk about what I'm dubbing vile rhetoric, not even 48 hours after this second assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump, coming from Hillary Clinton. She seems to want to persist, see what I did there? She persists in calling Donald Trump dangerous. And this sort of labeling of Donald Trump feels a lot like victim shaming in this respect, because while Hillary Clinton is upset by political violence, she doesn't seem so upset enough to stop egging it on by calling her political adversaries dangerous. The reason that Hillary Clinton is sort of back in the news cycle here is she's hawking a book, she's grifting, she's trying to sell you her latest work. Hillary Clinton's been pretty irrelevant for a good long while now, ever since 2020, I would say. She fell off the political map as far as being an active force in politics, being influential in her own party, and has given way to the Bidens and the Harrises and the Squads and the Nancy Pelosi's of the world, sort of receding into the background. Well, she's back now, hawking a book, and she did a sit-down with Katie Couric, discussing her book, but also discussing the news of the day, which happens to be about Donald Trump's second attempted assassination. Let's see what she has to say here.
But first, I want to address sort of recent news events. The assassination attempt on former President Trump yesterday at his golf course in West Palm Beach. It is the second attempt on his life in 2 months. When you heard the news, what was your reaction?
Well, it was horror. I mean, this is such a terrible thing to happen twice in our country in a relatively short period of time. And it's frightening to see violence being threatened and used in a political campaign.
It wasn't so bad.
Now, if Hillary Clinton had left it at that, we wouldn't be making a video right now. I'd be searching for another topic to discuss. But she doesn't leave it at that. And in fact, she's egged on by Katie Couric, who is hosting this sort of sit down with this audience discussing her book. Katie Couric is going to read a tweet from Donald Trump and ask for Hillary Clinton's reaction. So take a listen to all of this.
This is what Donald Trump tweeted this afternoon. Quote, "The rhetoric lies as exemplified by the false statements made by Comrade Kamala Harris during the rigged and highly partisan ABC debate and all of the ridiculous lawsuits specifically designed to inflict damage on Joe's, then Kamala's, political opponent, me, has taken politics in our country to a whole new level of hatred, abuse, and distrust. Because of this communist left rhetoric, the bullets are flying, and it will only get worse, exclamation point. Allowing millions of people from places unknown to invade and take over our country is an unpardonable sin." End quote.
What about the rest of it?
I imagine you have a lot to say about that.
Well, I think we all have a lot to say about that. Donald Trump has never been accused of being the most eloquent person, right? But in this case, he is the victim of a second assassination attempt. I think that gives him a little room to vent about the causes of what is happening to him, directly happening to him. Has Donald Trump ratcheted up rhetoric in the past? Of course he has. He gives people nicknames. He insults people. But people also insult him back. It's not a one-way traffic here. Democrats constantly take the bait as well, and in many respects have ratcheted up the rhetoric to the point of calling Donald Trump a threat to democracy, a dangerous person, a tyrant, comparisons to the bad people from WW2, including the leader of those bad people from WW2. You know who I'm talking about.
Are we the baddies?
Hillary Clinton is going to respond to this tweet, and she's going to do what I'm going to call victim blaming here. Like him or not, Donald Trump is the victim of now 2 attempted assassinations. And in saying that the rhetoric on the left has ratcheted up and put him in danger is not really an overstatement. I think many people can understand him being frustrated with the continuous rhetoric after the first assassination attempt, ratcheting up again to the point where we now have this second one. And what is Hillary Clinton going to do? She's going to victim blame.
Well, you know, it is so regrettable that the former president would take what is a genuinely terrible event of someone stalking a former president and current candidate and turn it into, as he did with that tweet that you just read, a political attack on his opposition and literally everybody else who does not support him.
Now, excuse me if I call bullshit on that. It's in Rules for Radicals, the leftist handbook, basically, that's been out there for years. Never let a tragedy go wasted. I'm paraphrasing here, of course, but the point of it is, we've seen Democrats all the time profit from pain, take opportunities when it comes to them politically. We see it with every shooting, how every Democrat, progressive, and leftist out there will start calling for gun control as a knee-jerk reaction to tragedy. And yet Hillary Clinton wants to go at Donald Trump for doing virtually the same thing, pulling a page out of her own playbook, turning it around and flipping the script on Democrats. Yet they're going to now take the hypocritical position of saying, how dare you use tragedy for political gain when Democrats have been doing it for literally decades? I'm sorry, but pots and kettles don't get to call each other nothing on this channel. That's a bunch of hypocrisy coming from Hillary Clinton.
And it really does, Katie, come down once again to everything that he talks about is about himself. And he doesn't in any way try to reach out to people. He's not interested in representing all of America and all of Americans. And this is just another really regrettable incident of that. And I do worry about political violence. I worry about threats. I worry about what's being said online about many, many people, not just the former president. And he should be doing, if he were really a leader, he should be doing what he can to calm the waters, not try to just continue to throw, red meat out there to get people riled up. And it is troubling to me, which is something that I think everybody should worry about.
Well, certainly there are a few things here that concern me about what Hillary Clinton just said. First, I noticed the use of the term red meat. It's a term used in politics. Typically, it means, as far as I understand it, a Republican candidate personality catering to a Republican audience by giving them what they want to hear. So when Hillary Clinton is talking about giving red meat to an audience, it sounds like she's saying that Donald Trump rouses up a crowd to the point of being frothing at the mouth. He gives them the red meat, creating this feeding frenzy, so to speak, and therefore he is to blame for the violent rhetoric being ratcheted up, and he should be the one toning it down. Meanwhile, I don't see anybody on the left toning it down. We see Hillary Clinton right now victim blaming Donald Trump, saying he should be doing more to stop his own assassination attempt, I guess? Is that what she's really trying to say here? We've seen a momentary pause on violent rhetoric coming from the left after the first assassination attempt, but then we saw many people out there saying, why should we change our language? We should keep calling him a threat to democracy. We should keep calling him a dictator. We should keep calling him dangerous. We should keep saying that he needs to be stopped. When someone hears they need to be stopped, a reasonable person may think, I'll go to the ballot box and stop it. But we're all not reasonable people. Clearly, there are many freaky-loos and wackadoos out there who will take a statement like that and maybe take it to heart a little too much. Hillary Clinton is not saying that we all need to ratchet it down. She's saying that Trump needs to ratchet it down, which, by the way, wouldn't stop the left from going at him. We've seen it for years now. But this isn't the only stop on the Hillary Clinton grifting tour for her book. She also appeared on MSDNC to talk about, who else? Donald Trump. Like what you see so far? Go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. Also, leave us a comment and tell us what you're thinking. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another show. We now join the Rachel Maddow Show live in progress, and Hillary Clinton is decrying the media's treatment of Donald Trump's incendiary viewpoints, according to her.
Understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is.
There it is again. We're not even 48 hours from this second assassination attempt, and Hillary Clinton is on national TV speaking on a left-leaning network about how dangerous the victim, Donald Trump, is. Do we see the disconnect here? Why is Hillary Clinton talking about Trump's traits, basically victim blaming, as I've been saying, instead of saying, everybody, chill out. We all need to take a step back. We've now seen 2 assassination attempts. Let's all chill. That's not what she's doing here. She is increasing the fervor against Donald Trump, who just endured a second assassination attempt. You can't write this stuff, folks.
The late, great journalist, Harry Evans, one time said that, journalists should, really try to achieve objectivity. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object. Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump, his demagoguery, his danger to our country and the world, and stick with it.
Yeah, media, stick with how dangerous Donald Trump is. Keep beating that drum, especially if it's coming from the left. Keep on telling everybody Donald Trump is dangerous. You need to stop Donald Trump. And what do people do? They take it literally. They actually go out there and try to unalive him. How is this disconnect occurring here? It's not like Hillary Clinton is not politically savvy. It's not like she's a dumb person. I think she knows exactly what she's doing. She is leading the charge of Democrats, progressives, and leftists to continue calling Donald Trump dangerous, despite what happened in Florida not even 48 hours ago.
They were merciless about what they saw as President Biden's, problems in the debate and calling for him to withdraw. I believe Donald Trump has disqualified himself over and over and over again to be a presidential candidate, let alone a president. The second thing, though, is that part of what Trump is counting on is for people to get desensitized. I mean, oh my gosh, did you hear what he said yesterday? Did you hear who he attacked? Did you hear the viciousness? And it just like with a shrug, okay, fine, we're moving on. Well, Americans need to understand that they have to take Trump both seriously and literally.
You hear that, America? You need to recognize that Trump is vicious. Trump is attacking. It's not going the other way, apparently, in Hillary Clinton's world. It's all coming from Trump. The hate is going from right to left. But we all see that it's not the right shooting up candidates. It's shots in the direction of Donald Trump. In this particular case, we see that this latest shooter had many left leanings, contributed to Elizabeth Warren, contributed to other leftist candidates. It's not like this guy was a red meat, to coin a phrase used by Hillary earlier. It's not a red meat voter. Language that Hillary Clinton is putting forth here is the exact same ratcheting up of political rhetoric that we all warned about after President Trump's first attempted assassination. And now, not even 48 hours after the attempt here, there isn't even this momentary pause of, maybe we should dial back our rhetoric. Hillary Clinton's going headlong into it. Dangerous, vicious, attacking. Those adjectives can be used for Hillary Clinton right now, though she's doing it in a very passive-aggressive way in talking about the dangers of Donald Trump. She's taken this opportunity on a national stage, on this national network, to take her shots at Donald Trump. Much the same way a shooter took their shots at Donald Trump. Or should I say, multiple shooters now.
Has said what he wants to do. He and his allies with Project 2025, his desire to be a dictator, at least on day one, all of that is in the public record.
The Project 2025 thing has got to be dropped. If you're on the left side of the aisle and you keep hearing this Project 2025 rhetoric coming from the left, and you haven't realized by now that this thought piece, this package that was put together by the Heritage Foundation is not endorsed by the Trump campaign, if you don't know that by now, I'm sorry, you're a buffoon.
Sorry, not sorry.
And I believe that more Americans have to be, willing to endure what frankly is discomforting and to some extent kind of painful, to take him at his word and to be outraged by what he represents. And then finally,
Hillary Clinton calling for outrage towards Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton claiming that Trump is vicious and attacking people on the left. What are you going to do about it? Do you see what's going on here? It's getting more and more heated, more and more, dare I say, inciting from Hillary Clinton here. This is not what we should be doing 48 hours after a second political assassination attempt. And that, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, is why I'm calling Hillary Clinton vile in this respect. Hillary Clinton is left without a major chair in this 2024 election cycle. She's not a candidate. She's not running for any other office. She's not even out there on the stump for Kamala Harris. It's a different Democrat Party right now. They have moved on from the quote-unquote older guard, like the Pelosi's, like the Bidens, like the Clintons, in favor of newer, younger, less experienced leadership. So Hillary Clinton has to make herself relevant in the news cycle. And how does she do that? Well, she puts out a book, gets onto all the talk shows and does all the interviews, and then starts sparking controversy about Donald Trump, ratcheting up the rhetoric once again, getting her name out there once again. But I think in this aspect, it's in the exact wrong way. Hillary Clinton should not be out there calling Donald Trump vicious, saying that he's attacking, calling him dangerous, calling him a threat to democracy, saying that he acts vile, saying that he must be stopped, literally 48 hours after a second assassination attempt. I know I'm being repetitive here, but we gotta nail this point down. This is the exact wrong tone for Hillary Clinton. I get that she hates her political nemesis, the guy that beat her in 2016. And I also understand that there is definitely bitterness coming from Hillary Clinton here. It's human nature. I get it. But to victim blame and say the equivalent of Donald Trump was asking for the bullet because he was ratcheting up political rhetoric himself is neither constructive nor productive at this point. Hillary Clinton is just providing more ammunition to perpetuate what Donald Trump was just saying in that tweet earlier, that the left is literally and figuratively gunning for him. But listen, that's just my opinion on all of this. Let me know what you think about Hillary Clinton's comments. And please, as always, like and share the video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, non-violently please, so you don't miss another show. Let's get into the comments and discuss the merits or lack thereof of Hillary Clinton's comments about former President Donald Trump in the wake of this second assassination attempt, as well as all the other shenanigans and buffoonery happening every day this week in DUMBmocracy.
All views and opinions expressed here are not necessarily of the mainstream media and may offend some listeners. It's called political buffoonery.